Welcome to UNCAGED, a show that celebrates thought leadership from today's top business leaders. The program provides a voice to amazing executives from around the globe who are shaping the world of business today and mapping the path to the commerce of tomorrow. Today, we're speaking with Deshi Singh. Hey, Deshi, how are you?
Hi, Ben. Thanks so much for having me on.
It's great to have you on the show, Deshi. Deshi is the founder and CEO of APRICOT, an e-commerce platform revolutionizing how female consumers shop, share, and earn. And we'll go through APRICOT and all the amazing things that the team are working on. But before we do that, Deshi, tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have done a lot in my career that's basically brought me to this moment, and I'm really excited about APRICOT to tell you more about it, what we're doing. My background is in traditional finance. So started in investment banking at Morgan Stanley, then moved over to the hedge fund side at a few different places, including Oxif and Level Global Investors. And ultimately, I decided to leave to pursue my own personal passion and trying to make more of a difference in this world. So something that I've cared about for a very, very long time, ever since I was a little girl, was understanding that there is a huge difference between how people treat men and women in this world, and also what it means to invest in a girl, invest in a woman, give her access to resources, give her access to education, and the doors that that ultimately opens up for not just her, but basically for everybody around her. And so when I left traditional finance, I ended up formalizing our family office and family foundation and started to impact invest in companies that really spoke to me across the lines of investing in girls and women, education, and sustainability. And I think all three of those things are inextricably linked, but is really just kind of this perfect moment for me to focus my energy. Along the way, I ended up starting a couple of companies as well. And when the pandemic hit, though, I was fully focused on the foundation, just trying to mobilize our resources and see what we could do to help. And I realized very, very quickly that the pandemic was going to be particularly bad for women and for moms. And shortly thereafter, we saw article after article come out about the disproportionate effect of what was happening in the world on women and on moms. And in that moment, I realized that really the traditional workforce has not kept up with the unique needs of women as we reach a certain age and stage in our lives. And for me, it was a matter of coming up with a solution for starting to put a dollar value behind what I believe is unpaid labor. And that is the work that women do every single day for our homes, for our families, for ourselves, for companies, and that is fueling our consumer-driven economy with our purchases. And so starting to attach that dollar value in a way that our society understands it, in a way that is already very naturally occurring in the flow of money. And so that all of that has brought me to APRICOT.
Excellent. And I can see how it starts with the financial element and weaves in this focus on really empowering women, making sure that you're capturing and structuring something that will be helpful to them. And then now here we are with APRICOT. So tell me the story of APRICOT.
APRICOT at its core is about compensating consumers, and most consumers in our country today across the globe are actually women, right? So women control over $2.4 trillion in purchasing power. And so with APRICOT, we've basically created a new way for brands to show customer appreciation and invest in their most loyal and authentic users and customers, and tell them, thank you. We move the needle with what we like and what we spend on. And over 92% of recommendations and ultimately purchases decisions that are made are based off of a recommendation made by a friend or a family member or a neighbor, or basically somebody in your life. And more interesting than that, over 80% of businesses, and especially small and medium-sized businesses, say that they get the majority of their business based off of word of mouth referral and referral to their services. So that referral piece is such a huge part of how our economy and how businesses actually thrive and grow. And as we've seen it, what is the purpose of Facebook, of Instagram, of Google AdWords, of all of these companies that are out there that are basically just trying to get in front of you, trying to put information in front of you, sell you something, have you try it. And then ultimately, if you like it, what you're going to do is you're going to go and share it with the people in your lives.
Right.
And that is something that women, and especially moms, so I'm a mom of 3 young boys, and I have no time to shop. And what do? I go to my friends and I look to see what they have, what they love. Those are high impact recommendations that I trust. But what's happening today is, when I was pregnant with my 3rd kid, I reached out to a few of my friends that I knew had had babies recently. One of them, God bless her, sent me back an Excel spreadsheet full of everything, the latest and greatest in what I needed to get. And I actually went through that list. It was amazing. I went through that list and I purchased every single thing that she had sent me.
Yes,
And
I mean, let's just kind of thank those women that are out there that make those lists, because they don't get a lot of appreciation, but we all need them so much in our lives. I think every friend group has at least one.
I mean, you're right. We do. And we all have those friends. But, the interesting thing is that whether it's a woman that's making that list, which again, I went down and I purchased everything on that list. And I realized that my friend was not getting recognized or compensated or known even by the brands for doing this authentic referral marketing behavior in a really natural, sort of good for you way, and that she was just trying to help me. And, forget my friend with her list or that one person in the friend group. It's your neighbor. It's your mom, it's your sister, it's every single person in our lives are actually influential in their own ways, right? And they should be recognized and they should be compensated for that.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. It's so interesting to hear this. It's kind of, I'd say, a digitized way of thinking of some of the stuff that we've known for a long time in the world of marketing and business, which is word of mouth is the most powerful way of actually building a trust with a brand. And certainly those influencers, those micro influencers right next to people are also the most critical ones in terms of defining people. But I love the fact that you built a platform to support it, because that's always been the missing piece. So tell me a little bit how Apricot's working now just on a day-to-day basis, and what kind of brands are taking advantage of this.
Yeah, sure. So you can get onto Apricot today and you can shop, you can create your own collection, which you can then share with people. So your collection is basically your own recommended list. And today our target user, our target demographic, the people that will actually see and get the most value from Apricot are women, primarily millennial women. Those are the brands that we have on board as well. So we have over 115 brands that are, some are more well-known, some are smaller, but should be more well-known. We have an incredible team behind us that have curated and selected every single brand that comes on board. They are either female founded, socially conscious, eco-friendly, sustainable. They're doing something good, but not just that. They're quality products that you're not just going to throw out tomorrow. We have products across the range of accessories, wellness, beauty, home products, and children's products. So what we are not doing is clothing and shoes, outside of some clothing for children, but it's really around all of those moments that touch sort of a woman's life. Or if I walk into your home even, and I see that, whatever it is behind you, I love it. Where did you get it? Or I'm looking for a new skincare routine. What do you love? Some of the brands that we have on board are Feed, Lauren Stewart Jewelry, Hedge House Home. We've got some great beauty brands on board as well. Meili Toys, some really well-known companies, quality products that we're excited about.
I love it. And Deshi, I mean, it's been a really interesting time for any company that's involved in the e-commerce world. Certainly during the pandemic, we all found ourselves behind closed doors, using computers a lot more than we ever thought we would be doing, and not going to stores directly. But tell me a little bit about what you're seeing now. I mean, as we've come out of the pandemic, what are the big trends that you're seeing in this space?
Yeah, that's a really great question. Thanks for asking. So one of the biggest trends coming into 2023 is really talking about social selling and what that means, and this word of mouth piece, and really looking to your friends and your neighbors for what you want to buy and how to buy it. So we've also seen this increase in video shopping, but at the end of the day, we trust the people in our lives, and we're starting to lose trust with the systems that have been created that are maybe selling us things that are a little bit less authentic, right? And so getting back to that authenticity and trusting the referral. It has never been easier for a business to start, but it's never been harder for a business to get off the ground, not just with the Amazon of the world, but also what's happening with iOS and the changes and how people are actually being served up certain information. And so, and what we're looking to do is to actually find those good products, and where do you get them, right? Where do you get that level of curation, especially when you're low on time? And also, how do you support the brands that are doing something good, that are made in America, that are that have quality ingredients, that are really unique, that have a story behind them that you want to know the founder of? And what I realized is I was having a hard time, outside of going to my friends who I knew had already done all the work, finding that information for myself. So how do we support small businesses, medium-sized businesses, new businesses that are coming up here, that are creating jobs, that are improving our own economy, right? How do we get those brands and tell those founder stories in a new and unique and different way? How do we connect those products to their most loyal consumers, or ultimately who will be their most loyal consumers, in a new and different way? And so this is really the crux behind Apricot, right? And not only that, it's social selling and then add steroids to it, because what we've done is we're compensating consumers for their purchases, which is something that has never actually been done before. It's not a discount code. It's not affiliate link that gets slapped on top, which is, kind of a one-time. It is every single time you make a purchase from a company or a brand, you're getting compensated to do that. They are recognizing and rewarding you directly. So you're having that interaction with them, which I think is also something that's going to start to happen a little bit more.
It's basically the two-way discussion, the two-way dialogue on value, and making sure that people recognize how much value those customers, that I'd say the exponential value that can be created by a positive experience and a product experience, positive brand experience, and then sharing that with their friends. Such a valuable element that Apricot is bringing to the market. But let me change gears here a little bit, Deshi. I mean, Apricot's such an interesting company, and you were involved with starting other businesses as well. And certainly you've outlined some of the things that are really important to you in terms of empowering women, advocacy for women and children. What drives you, Deshi? Like, what's behind the passion that created Apricot?
Yeah, thank you for asking. Also, what drives me, what gets me excited? I think it's finding a world, building a world where women are actually compensated and recognized for the value that we add every single day. I think that it's very easy to forget that women are the backbones of families, right? Of communities, of societies, of countries, ultimately of this world. We are the ones that are raising human beings to basically, to kind of come into the next generation of the workforce and to take over. And I think for me, and it has always been really clear that there needs to be greater sort of gender equality across the board, be it in the corporate world or at home, or, especially when it comes to dollars. Money is power, right? Especially in our society. And I think women deserve to have more of it for what they do that is work, that is not categorized as work. I am very passionate about supporting women's issues. I also sit on the board of Chamber of Mothers, which is a national organization organizing women in this country and men, women and men, around the rights of women and mothers, and really organizing also politically and thinking about what that impact is. I'm recently joining the board of Coalition Against Trafficking in Women. And, again, I think that these issues are all very interconnected. I sit on the Asia Foundation Lotus Circle, which is about economically activating and empowering women all across Asia, the Middle East, and the Pacific. And so for me, it's really about giving women that don't have the support from the men in their lives, and giving women all around the world, and especially in our country, the voice and the opportunity to start with a level playing field.
Yeah, I love it. And certainly Apricot's a great example of bringing that to the market, but also these other groups that you're part of are playing such critical roles. Deshi, I mean, here we are. It's such a such a crazy year, 2023. We find ourselves into another moment with lots of discussions about the economy. And you have a finance background, so I'm sure you've been watching all of these changes very closely. But tell me what you see on the horizon this year and what's on the docket for Apricot.
I think that there's so much opportunity ahead. And I think that that opportunity only increases by investing in women. Investing in women is good for the economy, right? It creates more money that does not currently exist that should. I think in e-commerce, there's a whole ton of really exciting things happening. There have been white papers written about generative AI and more interactive platforms and the metaverse. And there's a lot more that we can be doing as well. And I'm really excited to continue to build out our product, continue to serve our demographic, and continue to basically give people what they're looking for, and also educate people along the way to have them realize and recognize their value. I think that there's only opportunity ahead, and I'm really excited to see what's to come.
I love it. I mean, Deshi, I remember a project I worked on, now it's several years ago, with the United Nations. And one of the things that people always seem to forget or not know is countries that empower women and make more opportunities available for women have a much higher rate of peace and prosperity. And so, I mean, I think that just that fact alone makes me want to support everything that you're doing 10 times over. It's so critical to make sure that we do this, and it's going to lead to a much more peaceful and prosperous place for everyone. If someone wants to learn more about what you're working on, Deshi, where's the best place to reach you?
Yeah, absolutely. Via LinkedIn, you can find me, Deshi Singh, Deshi, last name Singh, Sangh. You can go to Apricot. It's myapricot.com, my. Apricot, APRICOT.com, or you can find us on Instagram at Join My Apricot. Lots of different ways.
Excellent. Well, listen, Deshi, thank you so much for being on UNCAGED today. It's been great learning more about what you're working on at Apricot, and really all of the elements that you've been focused on over the last couple of years. Deshi Singh is the founder and CEO of Apricot, which is an e-commerce platform revolutionizing how female consumers shop, share, and earn. And we've been going through what Deshi and the team have been working on, but also really the broader opportunity and landscape here for empowering women with products like this and solutions like this. Deshi, thank you so much, and we look forward to having you back.
Thanks so much for having me.
Cheers.